You use mental models in daily life to help you think, decide, and understand the world around you. They're also very useful when it comes to learning new things. In this video, I'm going to share a simple but effective way to build mental models for whatever skill you're building or whatever topic you're learning about. Let's get started. If you're joining me for the first time, then welcome. I'm Amy, and on this channel I talk about learning, programming, and skill building. Let's dive into it. A mental model is a framework that helps you understand how something works in the world. And as I mentioned earlier, mental models are very useful when it comes to learning new things and building new skills. One of the best ways to build mental models comes from a familiar but underutilized learning tactic, getting feedback from others. Now you might be thinking, get feedback from others? That's so obvious. Well, getting feedback might seem obvious, but too few people take advantage of this learning opportunity, and it is an opportunity. After all, most of us are surrounded by bright people who are often more than willing to help. We just simply need to ask for it, and in the process, we can pick up on their mental models. Now, those who do seek out feedback usually do so in order to draw awareness to their blind spots. What I might overlook, someone else can pick up by providing feedback. And I admit this is an obvious reason to get feedback. But what's far less talked about are the mental models that you can build in the process when you do ask for feedback. Many times when a person provides feedback, they share their mental models, that is, how they think about a particular topic or concept. In doing so, they might draw a diagram to illustrate their thinking, or they might verbally walk you through their thought process. Oftentimes, this is all you need to wrap your mind around a challenging topic. Let me give you a personal example that comes from my early days learning to program. Now, even if you don't program, the key lesson will be meaningful to you. I was learning about APIs, and I was having a hard time wrapping my head around a particular concept, the request-response cycle. The confusion must have been evident in my code. That's because I asked a programmer for feedback, and the programmer filled me in on his thought process. "Let me show you how I think about this," he said to me. He grabbed a piece of paper and a blue pen and sketched out a little diagram. He drew a line to represent the request coming in and traveling to the various responses it could return. This very simple sketch was a light bulb moment for me. Everything came together and made sense. I was getting so lost in the details, but this diagram, this mental model, put everything into perspective. It made what was once very complex and difficult for me much easier to understand. Now, this wasn't a one-off example. Rather, this has happened to me so many times where I ask for feedback, and I get feedback in the traditional sense, the things I can improve upon or things that I did well. In addition, I almost always get insight to how the reviewer thinks about things. In other words, the reviewer shares their mental models. Now, many fields are filled with abstract concepts, including programming. Mental models help make the abstract concrete. Now, say you ask for feedback and the person doesn't proactively share their mental models with you. In that case, ask this question: how did you know how to think about X in this way? This will prompt the person to take a step back and clearly articulate their thinking. So we know why feedback matters. Now let's talk about how you can get it. The first step is to identify a few people whose work you admire and want to emulate. Ideally, these are people who are a step or two ahead of you at your current level. For example, if you're a high school basketball player, you might think of an advanced high school player or a college player. The second step is to contact one person you identified and ask if they can provide feedback. What I can tell you is this: most people are more than willing to help. You just have to ask for it. The third step is to make the review process easy for your reviewer. Do this by specifying the type of feedback that you want. Share 1 to 3 questions that you might have or a few specific things that you want to get input on. Being specific with the type of feedback you want matters for 2 reasons. First, it will focus the reviewer's time and attention. Second, you'll get far better, more comprehensive feedback. That's because instead of trying to do everything, the reviewer will focus on a few things and do them really well. The fourth step is to apply the feedback that you receive. It's not enough to say to yourself, "Oh yeah, that makes sense," and move on. Make the changes that your reviewer provides. What appears easy can actually be hard to do. Plus, you'll benefit from the extra practice. It will solidify your learning. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to hear from you. So please leave a comment at the end of this video. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe button and make it an effective day.